Medicinal mushrooms represent a fascinating category of immune-supporting foods because their primary active compounds, beta-glucans and polysaccharides, have mechanisms of action that are actually quite well understood. These compounds activate macrophages, natural killer cells, and T cells, which are core components of immune defense. The research on lentinin from shiitake mushrooms and beta-glucans from maitake is legitimate and has been studied extensively, even in clinical settings for cancer treatment support in some countries. The claim that regular mushroom consumption increases secretory IgA, which is the first-line immune defense in mucous membranes, is supported by research. This is particularly important because mucous membranes in the respiratory and digestive tracts are where many pathogens first attempt to enter the body. Studies showing reduced cold and flu incidence with regular mushroom consumption are encouraging, though effect sizes vary. The implementation advice to consume medicinal mushrooms 3 to 5 times weekly, either cooked or as extracts, is practical. Sautéing shiitake and maitake with garlic, adding them to soups and stews, or using them in stir-fries makes these foods accessible to most people. The note that dried shiitake contain more vitamin D when sun-dried is an excellent detail. Vitamin D content in mushrooms exposed to UV light can be quite substantial, though this varies based on exposure time and intensity. However, we need to address some complexities. Reishi mushrooms are mentioned as too tough to eat and recommended as tea or extract supplements. This is accurate, but it highlights an important point. Not all medicinal mushrooms are easily incorporated into regular cooking. The bioactive compounds in mushrooms also vary significantly based on growing conditions, preparation methods, and the specific species and even strain. The recommendation to cook mushrooms to break down cell walls and increase nutrient availability is sound science. Raw mushrooms contain chitin in their cell walls that humans cannot digest well, so cooking is genuinely necessary for optimal nutrient extraction. This also addresses potential concerns about agarotene, a compound in raw mushrooms that breaks down with cooking. Combination mushroom extract products are popular, and the idea of synergistic benefits from multiple species is theoretically appealing. However, we should be somewhat cautious here. The research on specific combinations is limited, and quality control in supplement products varies considerably. If someone chooses mushroom extract supplements, third-party testing verification is important. The mention of fiber in mushrooms feeding gut bacteria essential for immunity connects to the broader understanding that gut health and immune function are intimately linked. This prebiotic effect is separate from the beta-glucan immune activation, but equally valuable. Some important considerations. While medicinal mushrooms are generally safe, some people experience digestive upset, particularly when first introducing them or consuming large amounts. Allergic reactions, though rare, can occur. People with mushroom allergies or autoimmune conditions should consult healthcare providers before consuming large amounts of medicinal mushrooms, as immune activation could theoretically be problematic in certain autoimmune contexts. The emphasis on regular, consistent consumption rather than just during illness is appropriate. Immune modulation from mushrooms appears to build over time rather than providing immediate acute benefits. The suggestion to make mushroom broth by simmering dried mushrooms and using it as a base for grains and soups is particularly practical for regular incorporation. Overall, medicinal mushrooms represent one of the more evidence-supported immune-modulating foods, with mechanisms of action that are relatively well understood, though realistic expectations about the magnitude of effects are important.